Right now on Rock and Roll Grad School, we talk with blues guitar great Eric Gales. He has a new album called Crown that is available right now. That's getting some great write-ups. That's Rock and Roll Grad School, available wherever you get your podcasts, rockandrollgradschool.com.
Y is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Does that make sense? I can't hear me either.
Yeah, you don't want to hear you. No offense.
No, but that's weird because can I gauge how
Are you in a library? What's going on?
Rachel has a conference call right now.
Oh my God, this somehow got better. This got better.
No, it's not. It's bad.
Yes, it did. No, I didn't think this could get better. Oh, and here's Sauve. Now here we go. This is...
It's just that the whole world is coming together.
Oh
yes.
My God.
Is this the first time the four of us have been reunited since the night we met?
I believe so.
This is hilarious.
Reunited.
This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
Let us start here. For those of you listening to the program, I apologize in advance. So our plan was to speak with the designer creator of the Tantra Chair. We're talking sex chairs this week. He was very enthusiastic to speak with us. However, there was an accident, a car accident. He's fine, but cannot speak for himself at the moment. And we wanted to postpone. He said, no, I still would like to do it. Could you maybe write down the questions? And we said, yes, and we'll do you one better. We will have people read these back. So
yes,
we have enlisted the help of our reluctant executive producers, Sauve and Sandy Stone, to read the answers to these questions. And I'm assuming there'll be a little back and forth in between questions. I guess, so to start, John, do you have a sex chair at home?
I thought you promised me one if we did this interview.
Fair.
Isn't that part of it?
Sure.
Yes,
Sandy,
are you
no, Sandy, same question for you. Does John have a sex chair at home?
I know he does.
Okay, there we go. Perfect.
He has a couple colors, actually.
Yeah, Sandy said food and furniture. Those are the two things that she likes most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Food and this furniture.
Yes, and I was just eating my banana, and
she had all phallic foods for lunch. Everything.
I did.
She came in with a banana.
Was that intentional?
Like cherry tomatoes.
My husband packed my lunch, and it's all
avocado.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
And a cucumber.
Perfect.
Like all intact.
Oh,
this is amazing. So the first answer to this question, it's a bit long, so I think we can kind of break it up into two sections. So John, I'm going to ask you to read the first 3 paragraphs, and that Sandy, you can come in on the several weeks section. Heidi, does this work for you? We should acknowledge that you are here as well.
I know. I was going to say, do I get to ask questions? Like, we're so worried about what they're going to do. Do we know what we're going to do?
Look, I'm trying to keep this train on the tracks. Right now, we're shooting off sparks, and
we're alternating questions, right?
We'll alternate questions, yes.
Okay, well, please interrupt me just so I feel like I'm on our show.
I will definitely cut you off several times.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yes. So let's to start. The Tantra Chair website is lovely, very nicely put together. I don't know if that's a Squarespace joint or what's happening there. But to start, I wanted to thank AJ for making an informational video that is actually enjoyable to watch.
Great.
If you're not at work, I highly recommend you check it out. Mm-hmm. So our first question for AJ was, what was that casting notice like? John?
Well, I, playing the role of AJ, will answer that right now, Luke.
Thank you.
And the answer is,
John.
Casting for our films is very difficult because we only hire real couples. As you can imagine, it's easy to find loving couples and willing to express themselves intimately on film.
It isn't easy to find love. Yeah, it is not. It's not easy to find loving couples.
Found in the past. Oh, wait,
right.
I got to go back to answering it for him. Okay.
Thank you.
And then he was saying, we really want to have that energy with these couples. So when we're hiring actors, sometimes it's not authentic. Romantic relationships are based on these loving couples. So to answer your question directly, Luke, I do not create casting notices for the films. We simply hire our friends his friends.
That's amazing.
Hubba hubba. Every
wanna be
single
his friend.
person featured in our films, you are now. Boy. Not only friends, you're members. Oh no, that's Hair Club. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not only the president. These were friends of ours for many years. Although it's easy for them to express themselves on film, they believe that the company, most importantly, and the intention. So people that are in the film believe in the chair is what it comes down to. And so this first film, entitled "The How It Works" presentation, was a huge failure when it was initially released. Not only was it a failure, but it was ruthlessly ridiculed around the world. I felt devastated because I put my heart and soul into making this the most tasteful and beautiful film that I can imagine. Obviously, I had to question my ability and connect with others through this medium. Do you want me to go on so I can help Sandy?
No, Sandy can take it from here.
Sandy?
Should I
You have plenty
read
more.
from here?
Yes.
Please, if
Okay.
you
Oh, we
could.
got
Okay, I'm
Pull
cutting
your
John
suit.
off.
Yeah, no, please, we should.
So several weeks passed. I was getting ready for bed. I noticed our website was offline. I immediately reached out to our hosting company, and they had informed me that the traffic volume was so high that our server had crashed. It took a few days to get back to the website back online. When I did, we sold over 100 chairs almost immediately. I was so excited, but I had no idea where all of these customers were coming from. It turns out that the Tantra Chair film was mentioned in a very large forum on the Yahoo platform, and I was able to read all the comments. The comments consisted of the usual disparaging remarks with hundreds of people making fun of the product, but I eventually came across a comment from a CEO of a very large corporation. We don't say who it is. I don't think this is a joke, he said. The thread immediately started to shift and people were looking at the film in a very positive light. The film ended up going viral and the Tantra Chair was finally on the map. Currently, the film is studied in some of the most prestigious universities around the world for marketing, genius, and success. To me, it's just a project I put my heart and soul into, and I certainly can't resonate with those considerations, as I am definitely not a marketing genius in any way.
I understand his point. John, pipe down.
I'm pretty
over
sure
there
the
for a second.
prestigious universities are watching this currently. All the
They're
universities
Right
are
now,
watching
of course.
Yes,
Well,
because we're a
have-
prestigious show.
Have either of you watched the videos online?
All of them.
No,
Okay.
No.
Yes.
John,
Okay. John, I don't believe you, but thank you for sharing that. I'm just thinking, I mean, that's a big request from friends. Like that's a lot more than pick me up at the airport.
It is, but
Yeah.
But okay. I mean, I know that it's going out to everyone in the world, but you're getting to make like a sex video
Hmm.
in a safe space, even though everyone's going to see it around the world.
Right.
Like no one's going to take it out of your safe and put it online and sell it, like what happened to poor Pam and Tommy.
Right. Okay.
So I feel like it'd be kind of fun.
I think what Heidi's saying is
wait
she
a minute.
wants
Are you
to be
guys are we going to
featured
a
in
tea
one of
party?
these.
Yeah, I think that's the next thing. Hey, why aren't
That's
you
a-
guys over here right now?
That's a different episode.
Oh, you caught me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's a different episode.
I don't know if I like where this is
If you
going.
li-
That feels
if
like
you
I should be in
listened-
church.
If you listened to the show that you produce, you would know that we've already featured the key party several weeks ago.
Where do you think I learn about these things?
I know.
Exactly.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know how you broach
My
that
glasses are
discussion
getting
with people.
steamy.
Yeah. why
I
don't
thought
you-
I thought you two just did. I thought
Yeah.
that's what this was.
Do you need a smoke break, John? You okay?
This car's getting awfully warm.
It just seems like a big ask. I don't care who your friends are. You know?
We gotta ask the right friends, right? Like there's certain friends
Yeah,
you don't
definitely.
ask.
Oh,
I don't
certainly.
know. If I looked like the woman, though, I'd
Mm-hmm.
probably be doing a lot of videos
Right.
like this, right?
I
And I feel
guess.
like they get it. I feel like they do get a chair. Did we? I don't know if we asked that or not.
Like a
But
complimentary
didn't.
Right.
chair.
And I
think
would
so.
totally do it for a chair because I want that chair in my house for
I know.
multitudes of reasons, just to
Right.
lounge on top of the use it was intended.
Mhm.
Well, and
Interesting.
see the reactions when people walk through the door, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
And who sits
oh,
on it. And then you can laugh because
Heidi.
they know.
Where'd you get the
Right.
chair, Heidi?
Mhm.
Exactly. Like who's in the know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You can
know
tell
about
the
the
way they
chair.
sit on it, though.
right.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
very-
have,
Clothes are
you're
off.
like
Yeah.
draped on it.
Yes, exactly.
With nothing on.
They lounge.
Exactly.
Yes, precisely.
Oh,
Oh,
there's no end to this.
I know.
This
No.
is good stuff.
Should we move
So-
on to part 2?
I think we should.
Okay, this is my question.
This is your question.
How did the Kama Sutra chair come about? Did you just wake up one morning and think, sex chair? Oh, wait, we didn't assign the role. of
We
AJ.
didn't assign the roles. Should we reverse them and Sandy reads the first paragraph and John
Yeah,
reads the
I
second?
think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
Shy, just going in.
Please.
I wish this was the case. When I was
Don't we
20
all?
when I was
Sorry.
20 years old, I was a fitness trainer and worked with hundreds of athletes that were recovering from injuries. I did this for over 16 years. And during that time, I gained extensive knowledge of anatomy and physiology. In the beginning of my fitness career, I invented a product that aligned the spine. I didn't intend to sell it, but rather used it as a tool to help my clients. It was a very simple structure that had wave-like curves to elongate and stretch the spine and surrounding muscle tissue. A local law firm became interested in the concept. Should I skip ahead? They loved the idea, but ultimately decided that they would not be interested in buying it from me. A few years later, though, I saw it in the marketplace. It's still being sold today. They even use the same name.
Yeah, see, that's
Those
not good.
weasels.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's terrible.
Can you imagine lawyers?
No. Yeah.
At the time, I was a single guy and met many great people, went on a lot of dates, had wonderful relationships, etc. However, a pattern began to emerge, and I realized that most people were not capable of connecting on a deeper, more spiritual level. Everything, especially sex, seemed very, very superficial. Since I was so young at the time, I thought it was just normal, and people would eventually evolve or develop the desire for deeper, more sincere connections. As time went on, I realized that it was a perpetual and problematic reality in our society. There was a disassociation with intimacy rather than a deep dive into consciousness. This was my inspiration for creating the Tantra Chair. I thought it would be the perfect vehicle to introduce people to conscious lovemaking or tantric sex.
Didn't Sting do an interview with Barbara Walters and go on and on about tantric sex or something?
Yes.
We follow up with that later. Just hold up.
Oh, okay. It was, well, the
Gosh.
word came up. I didn't want to forget. So
No, definitely. Thank you for highlighting
We
that.
definitely talk about Gordon later.
Sting told me not to drop names, by the way. So
Oh, you used that joke already.
no, I did not. I usually say it's
No.
Robert De Niro.
I know.
not
Thank
Sting.
you. My follow-up is I think all of this makes complete sense. It sounds, I don't want to say reasonable, but it sounds like the machinations of somebody very thoughtful and practical and
Yes.
sort of seeing a problem, identifying it and trying to solve it. I just wonder.
It was very vanilla ice of you.
Thank you. I just wonder when you
Thank you.
invite.
Thank you, John, for getting my joke.
Yes.
Well, it's like,
Do you want to
this
host a
song
podcast?
Go doon 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 doon. My song goes doon 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 doon. See, it's so different. It's so
Yeah.
different.
So different.
But my question is, if you invite somebody up to your apartment to look at their etchings or whatever the euphemism you want to use is,
Yes.
Mhm.
again, it comes down to how do you broach that conversation? I guess you've probably already had some conversations about conscious love making before you get up to the etchings.
Or you watched the interview with Sting,
Right, that's
and
true.
it just opens
Exactly.
up the conversation.
Something happened.
Yeah, but then you go,
Yes.
he's such a douche, you know, just like how.
No,
Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
love Sting.
Is he?
That. Oh, I like Sting, but the interview's kind of douchey a little bit. So,
Hmm.
but I like this guy. Just
No, AJ's
my
awesome.
commercial break.
Yeah.
He is. I think Heidi, you just said it. It is. You can tell he's sincere with his efforts with this, and yeah, I like his answers. So,
The
do
one
you
thing
think
I
we'll
like
get
about
there?
Yeah, maybe.
I hope.
The one thing I love about Sting is that he's all very deep and spiritual, but then the entire time when they're playing, I just imagine him like putting Stuart Copeland in a headlock, and that's like all he wants out of it.
Exactly. Just
Without a
pissed.
doubt.
Three guys who want to murder each other, and one's preaching. Let's all just
Right.
contort into a pretzel.
Send an SOS to a. Oh, yeah.
Did we get that confirmed by Dolette? Didn't she confirm that that's basically the case?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, John. Our one of our
Was that
guests.
a shameless plug? That's a
It was a-
shameless plug.
It was a friend of
several
ours.
guests who are
Yeah,
friends
who's-
with Sting.
She knows Sting, but we weren't going to drop names.
Yes, we are. Let's
You're
talk about
supposed to
Cherry
put that plug in.
next. Sting was
That's
a
right.
backup band.
That's true.
All right, your
so-
question, Luke.
So, John, how much studying was required to design this chair? It seems more complex than your traditional office chair.
Me as AJ. To be very transparent, it was the most difficult design project I've ever taken on. It took me 3 years to design the chair, and hundreds of revisions were made along the way. In fact, when I first built the prototype, the surfaces of the chair were flat. It wasn't working for most people. Then I remembered the curved design that I had created years ago, and the light bulb went off. Curves can create hundreds of angles. Whereas the flat surface is typically only present for us with a few. We hired the real couples to test the prototypes, and we found the couples of all shapes and sizes and variables, and listened intently to their feedback. And we made a prototype that worked, and we found the magic angles, which worked for everyone.
Do you think that they were
I like-
all wearing white lab coats while they were studying this?
I hope so.
Yes.
Nothing under
Is that
there,
in
just the-
another video? Yeah.
I didn't see
I-
that video though.
Yeah.
I
And
thought that was hot
goggles.
and saucy. Was talking about that's a different video. Yeah.
I just imagine it's like, Suzette, Jeff, how is this working for you? Yes, no, okay.
Just like it.
Yeah. And those are, again, to your point, John, you have to have some very Sting-like neighbors or friends.
True.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's
Yes.
all right. Great. This is a great conversation.
Isn't it though?
I feel like I'm doing a monologue.
I know. I feel like it's
yeah.
a table read
Is
for
Is
fall
it,
season.
is it warm in here? Seems warm in here.
Yes. All right. Oh man, I have this question. Okay. So I'm going to caveat this question and say that we know when the Kama Sutra was written and who wrote it. And this was intended to be funny, but it didn't quite come across in the email. So
Wow, way to undercut your co-host.
I didn't even say it was your question. I thought about saying it was your question. I'm like, we're just going to leave it. I never mentioned it.
We're just two people who host a podcast. Okay, but
Anyway,
please go ahead.
I said we. I didn't even say one of us. I
I
could have
know,
said
it's
one
true.
of us knows.
Yeah.
So, your advertising says it has a patent in design. Can I ask what that is? If it's based on the Kama Sutra, is the author of that going to be coming for their royalties? See, John thought it was funny. See,
Somebody did.
Josh, yeah,
That's why we keep him around.
right?
exactly.
Is that 13th century? When was the Kama Sutra written?
Yeah. Oh.
Let me
You
get the
guys-
Wikipedia up. Sandy,
Yeah.
you can
Okay,
read.
just-
I'll pull
Okay.
that.
Sure. I patented the design as it was perfected to protect others from making exact replicas. The design itself is an ergonomic chair inspired by the Kama Sutra. The Kama Sutra is one of the oldest texts and ideologies in the world, originating in India and written in Sanskrit. It's more comprehensive than sexual positioning, but what I love about it so much is that it focuses on the movement of energy within our consciousness. I don't believe that there's anyone in the world that would have ownership over this text or philosophy. People have written books about the Kama Sutra, but since we are in different industries, there's no risk for us in that regard.
And so just to Heidi's point, it was written historians believe between 400 BCE and 300 CE. So it was originally collected into its present-day form in the 2nd century, and it was first published in English in 1883. So
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So John, one of the things that is interesting about this chair is that it doesn't like scream sex chair. So you could leave it out at a party and just use it as a coat chair.
That's exactly right. I really
you.
considered the aesthetics of the design so that people would feel comfortable featuring it in various parts of their home. It looks like a very high-end chaise, and additionally, people do use it for an accent piece, stretching, yoga, reading, etc. We have seen it featured in doctors' offices, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of doctor.
I feel like AJ said a lot by not saying a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Make a statement without saying a word.
Here's the thing. So one of our former guests, who is now a professional dominatrix, she wasn't when we interviewed her, unfortunately. Sandy, this is one I think we lay squarely at your feet for setting this up.
Oh yeah. This is one of your
so-
favorite.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Hence the reluctant, title after these
exactly
fiascos.
Now, as is the case with a lot of our guests, we become friends with them on social media and various platforms. And this former guest was trying to sell what I can only describe as looking like a sex piano bench, because the manufacturer had sent her two by accident. And so she was trying to move one of them and was like, hey, it retails for $200, which seems like a lot for a sex piano bench, but I don't know the market. But she was basically got a free sex piano bench and then was trying to make money off of it, which seems like just pay it forward kind of, right?
Right.
But if your dominatrix is the last thing you want to do, make somebody happy or like do them a favor for the day.
That's
is that
true.
like, that would hurt your Yelp rating, wouldn't it?
It would, as a dominatrix.
Yeah.
You'd have to like flog them over the bench and then go just take the damn thing.
Exactly. Yes.
That would
Yeah. I got this sex piano bench, but they really beat me up over the price. Like, what is that?
right? I don't know. I do think this chair, like even if you take away the purpose for what it was intended,
Correct.
I 1000% would want this as my chaise of choice in my living room. And it would be
your fainting couch.
It would be my fainting couch, my TV couch. I'd probably move the couch and put it under Keith. Or maybe I should put it from the window.
We should reference or make note of the fact that you're referring to a photo of Keith Richards, not that there's a guy named Keith at your house that you're just putting under furniture.
I thought it was Hall and Oates.
Well, I have Hall and Oates.
They're here too.
Oates is in my bedroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You haven't been to the new pad yet.
It's not above the garage anymore?
It's above my
Is that where
different garage.
No more
Fonzie
Fonzie
used to live above
apartment.
the garage.
Correct.
Oh, man.
That was the Fonzie apartment. No, I
No,
have
this is a step.
I have a giant picture of Keith Richards above my couch, which many of our listeners will have seen because I often interview in front
Yes,
of it.
very, very true.
Oh,
So, yes.
So Heidi, why don't you take the next one, and then Sandy, you can read this answer.
Yes. Okay, wait, I just lost my place. Okay. Is there something that is intrinsic in the design of comfortable furniture that someone just looking at it wouldn't know?
Absolutely. That's a wonderful question,
Thank you.
Heidi.
Yeah.
Most of what makes the Tantra chair as luxurious as it is virtually not visible. We use solid wood, alder or maple from managed forests, which is highly unusual in our industry. It's more expensive, non-toxic, and extremely strong. Furniture was made this way 100 years ago, but now most manufacturers are driven by profit margins, and understandably so. We are driven by quality and integrity, and this is why we can offer a lifetime warranty. The foam we use is the finest, the most expensive in the world, but it is obviously not seen. It's 4 inches thick, very firm to maintain the intended angles and superior comfort. We also use Enviro leather on the surface, which is used primarily in luxury yachts and vehicles for its ability to withstand the elements. It's considered the finest material of its kind in the world.
See, this is why I need this. I mean, I need it for
Yes.
both, but it's
Right.
supposed to be on a yacht. That means it's supposed to be
Yeah.
amazing.
No, and I just
Solid
think it,
wood and great foam.
it goes
I'm
to
sorry,
show
I was just
why-
reading.
Lifetime
No,
warranty.
right. It just goes to show why you don't want to buy your sex furniture at like IKEA.
Never.
Because it's going to have those little wood pegs and it's going to hold on the small tacks.
There's always some piece missing.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
now, John, when I called you to talk with us today, you mentioned that when you were pricing out sex furniture, you found some in the most odd, interesting of places, the most affordable one.
I looked it up, and the best price was Home Depot. Like you'd expect anything less.
Right. More power, more doing.
Uh,
But
well,
but again,
the thing is, when you order it, though, they send you that, hey, how was your product? We want to do a review. It's kind of like what we're doing right now. Maybe we could just send them the podcast. Yeah.
well, and again, I think it shows that the attention to detail is there in a way that it's not with a lot of products. You know, John, some people might think you've seen one sex chair, you've seen them all. How is the Tantra sex chair different?
As AJ, we get this question often, and it's almost painful for me to answer this. Before the Tantra chair was introduced to the world, I don't believe there was a sex chair on the market. Everything you see out there is an attempt to replicate, whether it's from China, the quality is terrible, and more importantly, they're laden with harmful chemicals, absolutely not safe to use, in my opinion. We take every measure to use non-toxic materials so that we can sleep peacefully at night, knowing that our customers are safe. It may be difficult to tell when you're viewing images online, but in person, the difference in quality is extremely evident. Our artisans are the best in the world, and we have extremely strict quality control measures in place. I feel so much better about this now.
See?
This
And-
makes me
and-
want to look up their artisanal sex chair makers on LinkedIn and see if we can't connect.
Don't get the
I
one that's
know.
all wood.
No,
No.
exactly.
No.
No, these guys have thought it through.
Yes.
Well, that's just,
So-
they just splintered off. That's just a different group that splintered off. So,
Exactly. No pun intended.
right.
well, actually it was,
Yeah,
but it was
see.
still Enviro wood.
Yes.
Oh,
Enviro
that could be
leather.
taken two ways. Yeah. That's
No,
right.
particle
Yes.
board does not a good sex chair make. Everyone knows
No.
that.
That's not.
Or IKEA. How do you put it together?
Exactly.
No.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to skip the next question because we have thoroughly covered it in the question before in this discussion. But
Okay.
and also because I want to ask the most pressing question of all,
Mm,
which every one of us in our varying degrees of anal retentiveness have wanted
Nope.
to know this
No.
answer.
Pun intended. Yes.
Right. How do you clean it,
Mhm.
Sandy?
Sandy.
Okay, I should say as AJ, which
I love how the two of you keep feeling the need to quantify. This is not me saying this about a sex chair. This is
Right.
somebody else.
And I have to say, this was my husband's question.
Mm,
Yeah. And I'm the germ freak, but he was very concerned about this for some reason.
Well, you're talking Enviro leather and you're talking like all these,
Yeah,
comfortable, safe to use elements of a chair. I feel like there is inherently quality's got to drop somewhere. And this is not the kind of thing you
Yeah.
want to just chamois off in between
well,
long
Right.
weekends.
and we did do our research and watched the movies, and then
Mhm.
that was his main question, something about.
Is
The
it because he
guys-
saw multiple chairs using or multiple couples using the same
He
chair?
just kept saying, look where his ass is. How do they clean it? And I was like, that's what your walkaway is. So I'm happy to answer this question as AJ.
Yes, thank you.
We just use mild soap and water as the material does not absorb moisture. It's very simple to clean. If you want to clean it more aggressively, the material can even handle bleach solution.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It is. And when you think, he said the Enviro leather is similar to what they use in cars and other high traffic leather. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I have gotten a Jolly Rancher that has like melted onto a leather seat in a car. No problem. Brand new. The dealer had no idea that we were just.
But you couldn't get it off the chair? You couldn't get the Jolly Rancher off your chair?
Well, this is what I'm saying. No, we did, but it sounds like if you were, for reasons I don't understand, you needed to be enjoying a Jolly Rancher while enjoying time with your partner.
Or the cucumber, or who knows? What
Right, no.
food of choice.
Right.
But cucumbers are mainly water, so I feel like that would be
True.
pretty easy.
That'd be
Just,
come right off.
yeah, a little.
Well, I haven't seen the chair. Do they have cup holders on this chair? I've never seen it before. So
I love
No,
that the three of you literally just took one of the sexiest scenes in film from 9.5 Weeks and turned it into the Naked Gun 3.5 version, which was
so it's like a
not sexy
lazy
at
boy.
all.
Is there a lazy boy version? You got a cooler in the middle of it.
yeah.
It's like
It
cup
does.
holders. A
It does not
fridge.
have it does not have a cup holder, and it doesn't have. It maybe should have an ashtray, shouldn't it, at some point?
Yeah, exactly.
So again, AJ,
That'd be good.
if you're listening, things to think about for Model 2.0.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
there is an aging population. This could be big down in Florida where they have,
The
I think
villages.
Lazy
Ooh,
Boys
yeah.
are the
Yes.
villages. #1 selling Lazy Boy area in the world. Now it's the sex chair capital.
Well, it's also
Ooh.
the STD capital of the world.
I
so-
know, but
Yes,
this is so
yes.
easy to clean.
Wait, did you do a
that-
story on that too? Because there's a story there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
there's-
a documentary on it already.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is there?
Mhm.
Yes.
Ooh, I'd like. Hmm.
So
I
John,
have
out.
to check that out.
Yes.
who are the customers you've had for this chair? Couples, single people?
Oh, our primary customer base consists of couples 35 to 65 years old. And we do consider the amount of single people that purchase it.
So you do have a considerable amount of single people.
Oh,
who
I'm sorry.
purchase
Yeah,
it.
if I could read, yeah, hooked on
Yeah.
phonics. The Tantra Chair is primarily people are drawn to it to evolve their relationship. We love this because this is the intention of design. This is all about bringing people together. It's all about love, I think.
Exactly. No, very much
Yeah.
so. So
So
Hey, I
Heidi.
didn't even read this. Sting's
yeah.
in this next question.
I
This is
see.
great.
thank you. Thank you.
I love that just
Full
by skipping
circle.
that one question,
Oh,
I
this
got
is-
to ask all the good questions.
I know.
We were recently perusing the Don Rickles estate auction and unfortunately lost out on the bidding for his copy of the Kama Sutra. True story, by the way. Do
Mhm.
you need to be like Sting and know the Kama Sutra inside and out to use the chair?
I don't know why I had to take such a big breath. There's a lot to read here.
This is a big
This
Just take
is
a
one
big drink of water and it'll be like a ventriloquist act.
This is one of the
Nice.
most beautiful aspects of the Tantra Chair. You don't need to know anything about the Kama Sutra to experience the positions as the Tantra Chair makes the most advanced positions possible for most people. It also greatly enhances traditional sexual positions, which everyone can do with ease. Much to our surprise, we could list 1,000 celebrities, politicians, athletes, and even presidents that have purchased the Tantra Chair over the years, but we keep all of this information private. No one has ever asked us not to share the information, but it's a policy of my company to avoid using celebrities or public figures for marketing purposes.
Makes sense.
We are respectful of their careers and want to be as honorable and loyal to them as they are to us. We take this approach for all of our amazing customers, not just the public figures. I can share with you one celebrity.
Yes.
we take your privacy seriously.
Well, no, this
But
is
Don
why.
Rickles, Sting.
I can't
God
share
damn it,
one
I knew I
celebrity
shouldn't
with
have
you, Luke
Yes.
and Heidi,
Yes.
because
Yes.
he used the Tantra Chair as a prop during his European tour, and it's all over the internet. That gentleman is Usher. Mm. I have to mention that he and his organization were so kind and respectful. He didn't use
Yeah, because
his
they were having a
celebrity-
great time on that chair.
Right.
That's why they're so kind.
Oh, he did not use his celebrity to try to get a better deal. He really showed tremendous amount of respect and consideration. We love him for this, and I think this gives a window into his own personal integrity.
Now, if we were doing this interview live with AJ, my next question would be, did you get a thank you note from Usher? But no, I would think that would be the-
You wouldn't have asked, like,
no.
That
Well,
would be your question.
do you have
Well-
to be a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed to use the
I don't-
Tantra chair? That would have been my
So-
question.
so when he said presidents have purchased the Tantra chair, obviously I feel like we all go Clinton, right?
Oh, no, I went Obama.
Interesting. I went Merkel, but
I-
that's me.
I'd go number
Angela
45.
totally has one.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
she.
know. Why did I go to like
Mark
Justin
George and
Trudeau?
Barbara? I was thinking Bush. I don't know. I
Mm.
just the
Oh,
pearls.
Well,
I don't
that's-
know.
I guess
I
that's part
know.
of it. Yeah,
Necklace.
That's
I-
beautiful. No, you're romantic, Sandy. What can we
I
do?
must be.
I don't see the last guy as being a sales guy for this. I think it would not help.
Yeah, it
for
seems
sales.
like you need to be a
And reinforced. It'd have to be reinforced quite a bit as well.
I was just thinking you would have to be a gentle and caring lover, and those are not two words I would use to describe number 45.
Nope,
If we
not so
may.
much. Yeah,
Now, John, where would you recommend
Hmm.
putting this chair? Your photos have it in a lot of living rooms with no shades. Are you trying to tell us something?
Again, speaking as AJ, that's another great question. And you are intuitive to pick up on that. Yes, we
My
do
film
this
school
on purpose
background.
for two. We do this on purpose for two reasons. One, we want everyone to know that the Tantra chair can blend into any room. And more importantly, we want our customers to be open and honorable with their sexual. Okay, that's a big word.
Mm.
We are not suggesting making love in front of an open window, are we? But
Why
we
not?
do want our customers to feel the freedom of evolving intimacy. Heidi, you're going to get so many like date apps. People,
Yeah.
I don't know, when you're on Grinder or whatever those websites are,
Mhm.
yes, I'm on Grindr.
swiping right, swiping left.
I'm a gay man.
I'm telling
yes,
you, she's the one who's got the chair.
I want
I'm telling
a
you.
chair.
No.
Now, here's
Sandy
the
wants a
one.
chair
Is she in
too.
front of the
too.
window? Put her in front of the window.
Mhm.
What was it, Lady in the Streets, or what was the other
But
one?
Lady in the Streets or and a freak in the bed
Right.
Oh my
from
God,
Yeah
you are.
by Usher.
Like, they're gonna be. Oh, is that the song?
That was the whole point. Why I said, why wouldn't you ask that as your follow-up question?
I thought that was just a quote you were coming up with. I
Yes,
thought
just
Usher
made it
sang,
up.
It's getting hot in here.
No, that's
Well,
Nelly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nelly.
I'm sorry. Does he have a chair?
I don't know. He might.
Oh, he probably does.
Mhm.
Cisco chair, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Completely.
But here's the thing that I'm a little confused about, or maybe confused is the wrong word, but I love the idea of saying this chair can go in any room, in any setting. And like we've said, I think multiple times, it doesn't look like a
Mhm.
sex chair. It's not, doesn't scream that. If I know my own proclivities, I feel like that would very quickly turn into like you pile all your mail on that chair and when you get in, come home from work,
Yeah, exactly.
and suddenly you're pushing off 2 weeks of, the newspaper and those ads that they always stick in your mailbox that you're like, this doesn't even have my address on it. How does this
The
get
petty
here?
So you-
saver.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
describing a treadmill. Once you buy a treadmill, in the second month. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe this sex chair is like a sexy Peloton. But
My Peloton does not collect dust.
Right.
I know,
Mhm.
but does the sex chair sing Broadway songs to you?
I bet it could.
Uh-huh.
You get the right friend to come over.
Lady on the streets. Is that what it was? A lady on the
Lady in the
streets? No,
streets with the
does-
freak in the bed.
that's lady on the streets kind of same thing. The lady of the
No.
streets.
Not lady
Oh.
of the streets.
Yeah, not
Oh,
lady
come on,
on the
John.
bed.
It's actually
Of the
lady
street,
in the
okay.
streets. It's lady
Get-
in the
Oh, in the
streets.
streets.
Get your mind out of
Lady.
the gutter, sir.
You know what's great about this?
What?
This is where we should pause for a commercial break to acknowledge that our mothers are listening to this show because they both listen to every single episode.
There's no way there's no way my mother made it to this point in the show. She's probably had a
That's true.
stroke about 10 minutes ago.
Well, mine's probably still listening because she loves
Yes.
John and she loves Sandy.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, by
Maybe
the
she
way,
could take her leave, but that's fine. Heidi, would you like to read the next question?
Yes. Your company Zen by Design also sells meditation chairs. Which came first, the meditation or the Kama Sutra chair?
Yes, I started designing meditation chairs first. And in fact, that was my first step into the world of furniture design. I was traveling around the country with my dear friends, studying with a variety of Buddhist masters at the time. Most of the time, in those circumstances, you're sitting on the floor for long periods of time in meditation. It can be, sorry, my phone's being weird. It can be incredibly uncomfortable and distracting. I started making small structures to support my body, and everyone was fascinated with the concepts and encouraged me to bring them to the marketplace. I did, and Zen by Design was born in 2001. We were the first meditation design and manufacturing company in the world, and now we have chairs in every industrialized nation.
And so, John, for our last question here, your Zen Chairs website boasts that the chairs have been used by Dr. Andrew Weil. Is that the correct pronunciation?
it
I think
is
so. Yeah.
The weird dude with the beard who's on PBS
From
in the
Detroit,
afternoons.
I might
Yeah.
add.
Oh, here we go. Dr. Andrew Weil, Deepak Chopra, and the Dalai Lama. Do you have any endorsements from them on the Tantra Chair or any other people?
I mean, is the Dalai Lama, are we talking about the actual Dalai Lama, or are we talking about the position, the Dalai Lama, that thing, with the knuckle?
I was
I read it somewhere. Okay, no, I'll answer
Okay.
the question as AJ right now. We won't go down the Dalai Lama thing. That's a different move. Well, none of the gentlemen that you have mentioned have the Tantra Chair as far as I know, but we do have so many endorsements for the Tantra Chair. We get endorsements every day, but even if one of our customers wants us to use their endorsement, we rarely do. If they are a public figure, absolutely not. We have a handful of testimonials that we feature, but aside from that, we maintain everyone's privacy no matter what.
So I would point out there in that answer, AJ said that to his knowledge, the Dalai Lama does not have a Tantra Chair. He doesn't say whether or not Mrs. Lama has ordered a Tantra Chair.
Good point.
So just got to check the addresses.
Yes.
There's got to be a way to do that. So
So I'm parked at this rest stop, and this is the third time that the state cop has come by, and so I wait just a second. He's
Well, you look
I'm
like you're in a
trying.
you look like you're in a
Keeps looking
surveillance
at
van
me.
because you have headphones on.
yeah,
Do you want to see if he wants to say hello and if he wants to talk about the Tantra Chair?
yeah. Does he have one?
Is he on?
Show him the videos, John. If he doesn't understand what we're
I
talking about,
can't
just show
believe
him.
John hasn't watched the videos.
I know.
The videos.
Okay, I think he's joking.
He's playing hard to get.
Yes.
Playing hard to get.
Can you
Well,
imagine if we're all up in Northport this summer?
After some Chardonnay, we could, yeah,
Mhm.
we'd be fine to discuss anything.
So,
Yes.
John, whether or not you can hear us, it looks like you can. Sandy, thank you so much. I don't know if AJ will be thanking you, but I
I'm
wish we had a
sorry,
discount
AJ.
code. I wish we had a discount code for you.
Yes, maybe we'll get one. Who knows?
Yeah, oh, and John dropped off. So
Maybe
since
he's-
John's, I was
He'll
gonna say
be
since
calling
John's,
us to
yeah,
get picked up.
John's
exactly.
we're
Yeah.
gonna go pick him up.
I'm gonna have to go bail him out of jail.
Ugh, I'll bail him. out
Heidi,
with
do you want to give Sandy one of those coupons we have for a free back rub and a ice cream cone?
Why I
From
want
who?
both of those?
I don't know.
I want both of those things.
Every guest of Y gets a coupon book that we made by hand for hugs.
Here's my rub. She just
Yes,
starts.
totally.
There's the rub.
Uh-huh.
Again, thank you to our reluctant producers, John Sauve and Sandy Stone. For more information on the Tantra Chair, check out their website, tantrachair.com. You can also find them on Twitter, where they are at the Tantra Chair, or Facebook, where they are at facebook.com/the Tantra Chair, or even Instagram, where they are at tantra.chair.
You can check us out on all the various socials. Be sure to visit our website and don't forget to leave us a review.
Today's show is produced by myself and Heidi Hedquist. Our reluctant producers are John Sauve and Sandy Stone. Our willing producers are Rachel Allen and Randy Jeanette. Our intern is Zach Jackson. This one's for Philippe. Thanks for joining us. Flash, we're coming home.
Nigel, is that you? Are you here, Nigel?